everybody, and welcome back at Adobe Live. I'm your host Kladi, and I'm here with you for a brand new episode of the Illustrator Creative Challenge. Today we're going to be focusing on the foundation of using the Adobe Creative Cloud app, and in particular with Illustrator. First of all, I want to say hello to the chat. Thank you so much for joining me here. I can see many people already there. Garrett Williams, what's up? Nice to see you. Richard, Sam, Colby, Jack. Thank you so much for being here together. Oliver, welcome, and welcome to this brand new challenge. Of course, I want to remind you that if you're watching us from Behance, I will be able to reply to the chat and answer your questions. So take advantage of these 30 minutes together in order to ask any question you may have, in particular regarding Illustrator, maybe the new features, and of course, the topic of today, taking care of Creative Cloud libraries, which they will become your best friends. So make sure to stay tuned to discover all the power of the libraries. By the way, give me a hands up in the chat if you use already the libraries. I want to see how many of you here already have some experience with the library. Also, if you're watching from Behance, don't forget that you can catch up the replay. So maybe you just want to grab a cup of coffee, chill, relax, and enjoy the stream, and you will be able to watch the replay with me on the amazing Adobe Live YouTube channel. So don't forget to hop on YouTube and subscribe on Adobe Live to watch the replay. But let's go ahead and let's get started here. I'm actually jumping right away into Illustrator to talk a little bit more about the libraries. So let's see in the chat. We have Richard saying all the time, Steve, me, hands up for Barbara, Colby as well. Let me know where are you watching from. I'm always extremely excited to see and to learn more about our international community here at Adobe Live. Becca, I already have a library question. Come on, ask me the question, and I'm here to learn more and to reply, of course, to your question. So let me bring back Illustrator. And by the way, that's a big up. That's perfect, actually. I want to give a big up and big shout out to my friend and Illustrator talented Tim. Tim Easley is the person behind my logo. So I've been working with him on the I Am Kladi logo, which was featured during Adobe Max. That is the first time that I've actually used my logo here. I was trying to make my workspace a little bit larger. It is. And we jumped into Team. So that was actually a happy accident. So Team is the person that I work with on my brand identity. And that's one of the projects that I want to share with you in order to leverage and to show you how you can leverage the power of the Creative Cloud libraries, which is a service integrator, part of your Creative Cloud subscription, available throughout the Adobe Creative Cloud apps. Oliver is watching from Nordens in the UK. Oh gosh, I'm based in Manchester. Steve, spooky lighthouse, from a spooky lighthouse in New Zealand. Steve, do you live in a lighthouse? Oh my gosh, you need to DM me more information. Becca is asking, if you use an Adobe account for your corporate job and you transfer the libraries to another coworker emails if you leave the job? Yes, Becca, I will show you one of the features that are available, and one of the reasons why you will take advantage of working with the libraries is the fact that you're able to share the libraries and you're able to incorporate anything that you have within your libraries directly to your account. So yes, and wonderful question. Thank you so much for your question, Becca. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to work with libraries from the very first step. And the first step will be to actually go ahead and open the libraries panel. So everywhere inside the Adobe apps, every panel lives under the window menu. So you can go ahead and select window, and then from there, libraries in this particular case will be the place where you can start to bring up your libraries panel. Now, just to bear in mind, on in InDesign, another app, you may find it under CC libraries. They're exactly the same thing. They just have different names. Sometimes they're called libraries, then they're called CC library. But what the CC stand for is just Creative Cloud. So that's absolutely the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look at what the library panel looks like. So in this case, we worked yesterday with the libraries. We were actually creating colors, but once you open the libraries panel, and by the way, this is a proof for me that showing you how many libraries do I have. I literally, those are all the libraries. So you know that when I tell you that working with libraries is a time saver and it's very important, that's a proof of it. This is my personal account that I use for work, and you see all my project here for my clients, for my personal project. They're here saved and stored inside the Creative Cloud libraries. In fact, the beauty of working with libraries, they will allow you to store, organize, save, and share multiple assets. We're talking about colors, shapes, images, vector file, paragraph styles, and so much more. And not only you're going to be able to store them safely and share them safely and access them safely, but you also be able to save space on your machine. In fact, let's go ahead and create a new library to show you how it works. I tend to create a library, a file that, a library name that will either have the name of my client or the name of the project that I'm working on. So in this case, I'm going to call this one Adobe Live Challenge. Okay, and you will see that once I go ahead and click on create, I will have a brand new library. And here we have the library panel that let us know that here you can add assets, style, and much more from your files, but you can also drag and drop. So if you're wondering what that means, let me go ahead and share with you. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so we can have a better look to the entire panel as we go. I cannot find the bottom of my panel. Let me go ahead. Sorry, I need to find it outside the frame. Let's go ahead and see if we can make this panel a little bit smaller so we can work with it. I'm working with different screens, so I hope you can bear with me a second so we can actually make sure that we can all see the libraries panel. Perfect. So there are different things that you can do here with this panel, as I was mentioning before. You can go ahead and drag inside the panel all the assets that you need. You can make the panel as large or as small as you need. And of course, the first thing that you can do is, for example, click and drag and drop any asset you want. And also, once you drag and drop an asset, in this case is a vector, you can double click on it and you can also rename it. So there will be my Kladi brand yellow only. Okay. And oops, I'm so sorry for the misspelling, but you get the gist. Yellow only. There we go. And you click away. So here you will have the assets. But now look what happens. I can also go ahead and select multiple vector and drag it inside. So in this case, I will have a new artwork. And here I have Kladi, yellow and black. I'm just going to use Y and K. Y stands for yellow, K stands for black, just to make it more simple. But what if I'm going to select and delete this file from here? Is the file still available in the library? The answer is yes, absolutely yes. So you can go ahead and double click on the assets, and I'm going to show you what happens. Not only the assets is saved within the library, even if you delete it, but you can also, by double clicking on it, open a brand new document. So this is going to be a standalone document. So as you can see, I double click on both of those, and here I have my first yellow. Let's make this library a little bit smaller again so we can access the first one, which is the yellow, and then we have the other one here, which is the yellow and black. But look what happens. If I now go ahead and I change the color of this specific asset, and then I use the Command Save or Control Save, you will see that the change will reflect inside my library as well. Isn't that super cool? So not only you will be able to save them, access separately, delete the file from your computer, save space, you can also update it as you go. That means that if you're working on a project and you have linked a project from your library, let's see if we can open real quick, maybe Photoshop here. If we open a file in Photoshop and we're gonna go ahead and add a project maybe from our vector files, we can automatically update the changes. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring up our Photoshop inside the screen. You will be able to access right away. Here we go. We have Photoshop, and I'm just going to go ahead and click any file. I'm just going to go ahead and open my photo here. So I can show you how we will be able to simply access the libraries. And look at that. The libraries that we have created is automatically available and up to date with the actual work. So you will need to be connected to the internet for the updates. But as you can see, it's now loading all the assets. And if I go back to my libraries panel, the Adobe Live Challenge library that I've just created is right there, ready for us to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And you can see that I have these two assets. So now all I'm left to do is to click and drag my branding inside the image. And look at that, we have our layer that it will automatically show up inside Photoshop, and it has this little cloud icon that is showing there. So if I now double click on it, it will open back my vector file. And I am free to change the color as many times as you want. So I'm going to change it to white and press Command S. So look at that. Not only Illustrator will, not only the libraries will allow you to have a brand new file that you can open in Illustrator, but it will also allow you to enhance your interoperability work by jumping from every different app by simply double click on the artwork that is inside your libraries. And the possibility here are just infinite. In fact, once I jump back into Photoshop, look at that, in just a click, you will see that the document that is linked, in this case, a vector logo that is linked within the library from Illustrator has been updated inside Illustrator, and automatically the change will reflect inside the Photoshop app. And that works the same for if you're working with Premiere, if you're working with InDesign and any other app. And of course, vice versa. Let's go ahead here and see, this is my image that I have, which I can also drag and drop inside my library. And look at that, I've just added the image to my library. It looks like that this is a spread out version of the image. Let me go ahead and select the pixels and make sure that I crop everything that is not outside the image, because we do not want to have any other pixels outside the image here. Maybe I have to simply hide all the rest. Let me go ahead and bring this to the very top, just like so. And then I select all the pixels and I cut everything that is outside the photo that I do not need. So we will be able to have access to the actual final image and then add it to our library. And in just 1 second here, I can click and drag and we have the image. But now what I want to show you is that once I go back inside my my Illustrator file, I can now do the opposite. So we can go back to our original file and we can drag and drop the photo that I've just created in Photoshop. Isn't that amazing? So this is actually the way that we can use our app and we can work in between our creative cloud environment. Remember, this word is so important because it will allow you to speed up your workflow overall. Thank you so much for the outfit. That's the way that I was speaking at Adobe Max this year. I want to try to show you as much as possible also that was happening during Adobe Max. And the beauty of working on library doesn't end here. So for example, we can go ahead and use this picture. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot so I can quickly access it inside my computer because I don't remember where it's located. So if I take a screenshot of the asset and then I head back to the color service, which is what we were working with yesterday, I can also from here create a color scheme and perhaps add it to my library. So if you go here, save to, everything is interconnected, everything works together, and everything is there for you to work faster and work better. So here, all we left to do is to find the brand new library that we created. So I think it was called, let me see if I remember, Adobe Live Challenge. Let's see, where is there? Perhaps I have to refresh real quick because we just created the library. So let's go ahead and refresh there, and hopefully we'll be able to find the Adobe Live library. Let's see if it's there. Usually they tend to, the service tend to save the last one that we have used. And if that's the case, we're probably going to use that one there. In this case, they're not organized by name. Illustrator Challenge. Let's go ahead and refresh it one more time. It doesn't look like it's there, but we can simply go ahead and create a new library if we want to do so. Here we go. So it just needed to pick up the latest library. As you can see, just simply by refreshing, we now have access to the Adobe Live. And that would have been just the issue of my internet, just refreshing real quick. So now we can change and create a color palette thanks to color, and we can also save it inside our library right away. So if I now jump back real quick into Illustrator, you will see that this color is now being added into my asset. That means that I can go back into my black and white image and I can select any of this color that we can use for our logo, and you will see will be updated right away. But what if I want to use some specific colors that are part of my photo? Well, that's so easy because here we have access to our extract theme. So once you head on color.adobe.com, you can click on extract theme. And from there, you will be able to drag and drop or select any file. So if I click select a file, I will be able to access real quick from my desktop the screenshot from my photo and simply upload it. You can also drag and drop it, and boom, right away Color will take all the colors that are present in my picture, and then I can make sure that I selected the Adobe Live Challenge and click on save. By the way, you can also share this color palette and make it available to the public. So make sure to add any tags so people can search when they go under the Explore tab. And you can also publish it inside the color website. So whenever you're ready, simply you can also give it a name and click on save. And look what happens here. I'm gonna jump right back into Illustrator and the color will appear right away. So now I can use my logo and I can use a color. So in this case, I can use the color of my suit there, of my blazer. Let's see, let's use this darker purple perhaps. And if you want, you can also edit the color inside Illustrator and then perhaps bring it back inside the library one more time. So you can create infinite possibility with this outside here. That means that I can jump back into any other project, maybe also Photoshop, and I can go ahead and use my logo, making sure that the color match exactly the asset that I'm working on. Isn't that so amazing? I found this so exciting. But going back to Becca's question, what if you have to use another account? Well, you will be able here to click on this little icon at the top right where it says invite to library. And once you go ahead and select invite to library, you will automatically be able to invite someone to edit or simply view your library. And that's super, super cool. So you can simply add here an email address in order to invite whoever you want to your library. And they will be able to add so they can edit, delete, and also incorporate the library inside their actual computer, inside their Creative Cloud apps. But most importantly here, if we head into the Files tab of our Creative Cloud app, this is simply my Creative Cloud app, which is on the desktop and also available on mobile. So let me show you that. Let's go ahead and save this document here. And I'm actually going to save it to the cloud because you can see more and more the way that you can work with the libraries and with the cloud. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this document from Illustrator. Make sure that I save it to the cloud. I'm going to call it Kladi logo purple, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on save, and you will see that here, oops, let's see what happened. Let's go ahead and save this one. That'll be so much easier. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this document inside. I'm gonna create a copy, save it to my cloud document, and call it I am Kladi logo. By the way, I don't know what the error was, but it actually did save it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save this just in case. This is called I am Kladi. But what I wanted to show you here is that you will be able to access right away. Can you see? It literally appeared as we go, as we're talking. And those are the files that you can access from your Creative Cloud account. And this is also available on tablet and on mobile, so you can actually perform these on mobile. But if you head to your libraries, you will have access to an alphabetic. Here it is. This is our Adobe Live Challenge. We just simply created it right now, and I want to show you the power of this. So let's go ahead now and add a black version of the logo, and then just to make sure that it stands out, this version of the logo that has this funky little pattern applied to it. So here we go. Here we have this brand new artwork. Let's jump real quick back inside my Creative Cloud panel, and you will see that those are automatically updated. Isn't that super cool? I find that very, very exciting. Now, you can from here also share it. So this is something that you can also do from your phone. You can invite people, or you can simply get a link. So by getting a link, you will be able to perhaps email it to yourself. So Becca, in your question, if you wanted to either export it or just simply get a link, if you're at work, head to your Creative Cloud app. And then from here, you can generate a link and email it to yourself, or also text it to yourself. And I know that probably this is not the best way of sharing this, but I think it's super exciting to see that that works on your mobile. So let me go ahead and open my Creative Cloud app from my mobile. And once I head here, let me go back into my main landing page. So hopefully you can see a little bit bigger. So once I'm here on my mobile, I open my Creative Cloud app. Let me show you what it looks like. So it literally looks like the one that is on screen there where it says Creative Cloud. You can download it both on iOS and also on Android, and see everything that I've done so far. So the new logo that I've added, the color with the purple, everything is up to date. And from here, you can also access it. So let's go ahead and select, for example, this version of the logo that I've just added, and you will be able to download it and share it or move it around your library, which I think is super, super awesome. Let me see here, if you also go inside your file, you will have the chance to choose between the different tabs, and the one that you're looking for is library. So our brand new Adobe Live challenge that we just created together is available for us to use. And this gets updated as we go. So look at this yellow now here. Is there, and is our yellow logo. So what happens if I go back into my library inside my screen? Let me jump real quick into my screen and add to my library, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this yellow logo. So I'm going to right click on it and select delete. And by the way, you can also move, actually let's not delete it, let's move it into another library. Deleting is too easy. So if you want to move this one to another library, all I'm left to do is to select it, and then I can simply move it to, and then I will be able to pick the library that I want to move it to. So I'm going to move it into my Kladi folder and select move. So now this is being removed from this folder. But let's go ahead and see what actually happens inside my mobile. So that's now just been sitting there. If you drag down, you will be able to, can you see we have a little wheel that is updating. And in just a second, here we go. He's just thinking about what is going on here, and he's looking at my Adobe challenge, and the yellow version of the logo that we had there has been gone away. So you will be able from here, again, see same icon that we had on the screen with a little share. You're able to share with anyone that you want, also with yourself from anywhere, anytime. Don't forget to go and check also color.adobe.com. Libraries are your best friend when working on your project. They allow you to work within apps. They allow you to have access to your files. And by the way, specifically for photography, if you have pictures and you move them inside your Creative Cloud library, you will also be able to delete them from your computer. So that is so amazing for very large files. And one more thing, besides color, shapes, vector, photography, and actually with photography, when I was talking about interoperability, I didn't share something with you that is so important. If you want to edit your image, all you're left to do, like we were doing the other way around with the vector from Photoshop, with open up Illustrator, you can open up Photoshop directly from Illustrator by selecting the photo and then either double clicking on it or select on edit, and it will open up the document inside Photoshop. Isn't that amazing? And if you don't believe me, I'm going to close this document, and I'm going to close this document as well. So there is no document open inside my Photoshop. I'm going to jump real quick into Illustrator and do it again. Double click on the image, and boom, the photo gets edited there. So if, for example, I want to add a gradient on top of it, just real quick, let's do that, and let's reverse it from the top. Okay, so you can see the changes happening. I'm going to go ahead and click on Command S to save. Once I jump back into Illustrator, it works exactly like we were working on reverse. Look at that. I didn't have to do anything. The assets that was inside Illustrator get up to date as we go. Unfortunately, we have just 1 minute, but if you do work with paragraph style, so for example, if you're working on a document in InDesign and so on, let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this little style here. I'm going to head to my window menu, and from the style type menu, we're going to select paragraph styles. So in this case, I'm going to create this new paragraph style. I'm just going to call it Kladi test. Of course, you can come and change it and modify it whatever you want. You can choose many different fonts. I'm just going to create this one just because it's a little bit more stylized, so we can have a look at it. You can also add this inside your libraries. It's super, super easy to do so. You have the opportunity of adding your text as a shape or as a style by simply dragging it inside your library. And I think that that's a fantastic way of working with this amazing app. You literally be able to perform many different options with this amazing library, and you can also copy and paste text and styles from your document. I hope you had a nice overview of what the libraries are for. And again, this is still gets updated throughout the Creative Cloud environment. owning a Creative Cloud pass is basically owning a pass to make your design workflow so much faster. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Don't forget to go and grab a glass of coffee, because I will be back with the lovely and sweet Easy. We're going to pick up from yesterday with a brand new stream. And of course, there is always so much amazing creativity happening every day on Adobe Live. I will catch you in about 3 minutes. So is bye-bye for now, but I will catch you with Easy and a stream on creating a design booklet based on tattoos. So come and join us, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk more Illustrator and of course also InDesign. And regarding the challenges, don't forget you can find them on a replay on the Adobe Live YouTube. And I will be back with you tomorrow for another creative challenge in Illustrator. But it's ciao ciao for now. I will see you in a few minutes. Bye.